This is Homelink 5.6 of Everyday Math, Stories with Large Numbers. Help your child write an addition and a subtraction story using 5, 6, or 7-digit numbers. Your child has been working with numbers as large as millions, 7 digits, so this is a realistic expectation. However, it is acceptable for children to make up stories with 5 or 6-digit numbers. So, here are the directions. For each number story, try to think about a large number of things. Share your stories with someone at home. If the numbers are too big for you to add or subtract, use a calculator or ask someone at home to help. If at all possible, I would like the students to try to complete the addition and subtraction without a calculator. And if help, with help is okay though. Please help them to make sure they know how to subtract or add the numbers. So number 1, write a number story that you solve by adding. So this is the key for this story. We need to be adding something. So I might say, there were, and I need to remember to use either 5, 6, or 7-digit number. So I'm going to say there were 650,000 cars in Maine. There were, let's say, 5,423,942 cars in New York. Since I'm adding, I'm going to ask how many cars total, or how many cars were there in all. And they can use this workspace over here to add it up. The key thing when adding it up, especially with big numbers, but with any number, is to make sure they put the bigger number on top and then they line up the place value. They line it up by place value. So I'm going to put 5,423,942 on top. I know that I have 6 digits in my next number. This one has 7. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digits, and I'm going to do this, 650,000. And I'm going to add this together to get my total number of cars. So I have 2 plus 0 is 2, 4 plus 0 is 4, 9 plus 0 is 9. See why it's crucial to have these lined right up over the numbers that we're adding. Especially with bigger numbers, it can be very confusing. We'll put our comma in there. 3 plus 0 is 3, 2 plus 5 is 7, 4 plus 6 is 10, so I'm going to put down the 0, carry the 1, my comma in there, 1 plus 5 is 6. So my answer is 6,073,942, and that's what I'm going to write here. And please remember to put the 0 in there, because if I don't, it takes a whole place out and it becomes a different number. My unit, always include the unit, is cars. Okay, and then you're going to write a number story that you solve by subtracting. Okay, and again, you want to use these kinds of big numbers when you do that. Okay, I could even use the same problem, except I could say, how many more cars were there in New York than Maine? Okay, I want students to write their whole story, but just to show you the idea, how many more cars were there in New York? And of course use complete sentences. New York, then how many more cars were there in New York than in Maine? And to do that problem, I'm going to take the number of cars in New York which is 5,423,942. And I'm going to subtract. I'm going to set the problem up exactly the same way, except instead of adding this time, I'm going to subtract. And again, keep those top numbers and bottom numbers lined right up. So I have 2 minus 0 is 2, 4 minus 0 is 4, 9 minus 0 is 9, comma. 3 minus 0 is 3. Can't do 2 minus 5, so I need to borrow 1, make that a 3 and that a 12. 12 minus 5 is 7. 3 minus 6, I can't do that, so I need to borrow 1. 13 minus 6 is 7. And 4, there's nothing here, 4 minus nothing is 4. So there are 4,773,942 more cars in New York than in Maine. So the answer, 4,773,942 cars. And again, I do want students to write the problem out here, but just to give you an idea of how you would do that subtraction problem. And that is Everyday Math, Homelink 5.6, Stories with Large Numbers.